Good morning, welcome back to a week in my life living in Charleston. I'm Clara if you're new here. If you're not new here, thanks so much for coming back. And thanks for coming back to a very exciting vlog, a very exciting week, at least in the world of Clara. It's very exciting. There's gonna be lots of progress on my backyard, lots of progress on my 26th birthday trip that is happening next week. If you don't know, I'm a July 6th baby, which means that I'm like basically a July 4th baby. I hated it growing up because, you know, I never got the cupcakes at school. Everyone was always busy on my birthday because people would do beach trips and stuff surrounding the 4th of July, but now as an adult, I love it. I love it. If you have a kid or you yourself are watching this and you loathe a summer birthday, you will grow up, hopefully, and one day really appreciate it. As an adult, you can plan like really fun like events and trips and things around it. I feel like no one would be willing to do it in like the middle of October, you know what I mean? So I rented a lake house and I'm having my friends out to this lake house next weekend. I technically have it rented the 2nd through the 7th just so I have some like buffer time because, you know, like check-in, check-out times kind of can mess up like a full day. But the trip itself is more like the 3rd through the 6th, and I need to do a final head count, but I think it's upwards of 14 or 16 people, which is crazy. That's crazy. And it's starting to dawn on me that like, wait, I have to like plan food and entertainment. I mean, we're all adults, we can like entertain ourselves and get our own food, but you know me, if you saw my last video about hosting house guests, this is a whole nother level. So this week, birthday party planning, backyard project progress, hopefully. I'm looking at a dirty kitchen, so there's gonna be some cleaning too. About to make lunch. Got all my groceries for the week. I'm just excited. I love an eventful week. I'm getting a cavity filled. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna definitely document that and then ask my accountant if I can write off that $700 check, because I did find out that my dental insurance is preventative, which means I have to pay out of pocket for anything that I didn't prevent. So love that for me. Anyways, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're new here. Hope you like it. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, the usual. I am forever chasing the Joe and the Juice tuna cotta recipe. If you've ever had it, it's this like flatbread tuna melt situation that Joe and the Juice make. Seriously, if you're in a city with Joe and the Juice, you have to try it so you can like kind of figure out what I'm talking about. I usually make my bootleg version on a piece of sourdough bread, but I saw these flatbread things at Trader Joe's and they kind of look to me like the bread that Joe and the Juice uses. I can now 100% definitively confirm that this is not what they use. This is what I got. Someone told me, oh my gosh, that makes such a good like healthy pizza. If someone invited me over for pizza and served me a pizza on this, I would probably call the police. But apparently it's a good source of fiber for wraps, sandwiches, burritos, soft and pizzas. I mean, they're not wrong. I feel like this bun that I have in my hair right now makes my head look so oddly shaped, but it is craft day. I realized that the lofty list of DIYs that I have envisioned for my birthday trip literally aren't going to do themselves. A DIY is do it yourself. So I need to start on that today or else I'm just like simply gonna run out of time and get too stressed. For context, it is Tuesday and the trip technically begins next Wednesday, so I have just under 7 days, but 2 of those days are weekend days, so I feel like I could definitely get a lot done. But I'm gonna try and get all of the crafting, like truly like nitty-gritty DIY done today and tomorrow, starting with everything related to my like Cricut Cameo situation. I always save the stuff that I get for these projects if I don't have time to make them, quite honestly. Like I was just saying, I don't often give myself enough time to actually get things done leisurely, so I have some of these keychains, I have some napkins, I have this like adult apron. I think that might be funny if I can think of something fun to put on the chest there. Like I could wear that when we're cooking. I have some blank matchboxes. This is how I make little custom matchboxes. I have like the actual boxes and then I have the little fold over ones. I've shown this kind of sparingly like in other content, but it's all the same process. I use like heat transfer vinyl. Well, I probably wouldn't use heat transfer for that, but all of these would be heat transfer vinyl. And then these would probably be like the permanent vinyl, the non-heat stuff. I don't know any of the true words. This is not a tutorial. If you're looking for a tutorial, you might need to go elsewhere. This is just Clara's way of doing it. I also have these leftover koozies from something that I'm like, might as well make some koozies. My first craft of the weekend. These are all like completely like non-essential things that I've just deemed very essential, but I want to make these little floating like boat keychain things. I just got these blanks off of Amazon, I think. I got like a big pack of them. That's why they're all different colors. But I want to customize these by putting Reelin' in the Ears on one side and then Lake Norman 2025 on the other. Do I know if people are gonna, I mean, people might keep these like on their beach bag as like a little souvenir. I don't know if it's gonna be a weekend worthy of keeping a souvenir for the rest of your life, but I want to customize them. There always comes a time in these DIYs for hosting and like merch and stuff where I think to myself like, should I just buy this stuff from Etsy like a normal person would and then I see the prices and I'm like, nah. Plus this machine isn't gonna pay for itself. Why do it always messes up in this one spot? I'm like so confused. Let me scrape it down one more time and see. My little floating keychain things look so cute. I don't even own an iron. I literally use an old flat, well, it's not even old. This is the flat iron that I also use for my hair. But I use my flat iron to do the heat pressing for little projects like this. I don't own an iron, and I also feel like that would work better than a legitimate iron, but oh well. Next, I'm moving on to these little key things that I've just had for forever. I forgot what trip or event that I got them for, but I've had them in my little DIY closet for a while, so might as well use them. I wasn't sure what to put on them that wouldn't be redundant to those little floaty things like Norman 2025 or something like that. So I don't know if you can read this. I'm gonna put yacht keys on it. I think that's kind of funny. I don't even know what time it is. I've been here for hours. I'm literally surrounded in scraps of vinyl and fell. I'm about to take a break. I mean, I'm about to stop for the night. Not a break for the night. I'm gonna go to bed. But I feel like I've made good progress. I need to kind of like, I do need to pause. Like, no new projects. No new projects. I was thinking of things like, oh my gosh, I could make this and that. And I need to chill. There's plenty. So far, I have some banners for the house. I'll show you all of this like in the daylight tomorrow. Don't worry. I have some banners for the house. I have some decals for the mirror. I made those keychains, the floating ones and like the little tag ones, matchboxes, koozies. I am going to get started on the door pennants, like with everyone's name on them. I'm gonna get started on that, but I'll do the actual names tomorrow. And then one thing that I'm so excited for, this came to me very last minute. Tell me that's not so funny. For the friends that I have joining that have a kid at home, I have two in particular, but my parents went to Clara's 26th birthday weekend and all I got was this onesie. Some of my best work, honestly. Proud of that one. I have some errands to run directly after my workout class this morning, so I'm putting on a little bit of a skin tint so I don't look like someone that stayed up until 2 a.m. making birthday trip craft projects. I can't get it to focus, but I've been really liking this e.l.f. Halo Glow skin tint. I got my Ulta outfit of the day, even though this sweater is probably gonna come off the second I step foot outside. But I have on a brown workout set from Adenola, a white tank top from Hanes. This sweater is super old from Target, and honestly it looks like it's from Target. It's like super pilled, but I like it for over workout set. I don't care if it gets any more pilled, honestly. My tote bag, your real one, if you remember the day I got this, I got it at the Hamptons TJ Maxx and I almost missed my flight for it. Then I have my coffee. And I sound like a teenager trying to sneak a bottle of liquor to a sleepover, but it's just my hydro jug cup in this tote bag. So I actually missed my workout class. Couldn't find my car keys in time, and then I knew I just wasn't gonna make it. So I switched to a later class. I'm gonna do a 7:30. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I'm right back where I started. I'm gonna meet my designer that's working on my back, well, same designer that did my house, but I'm gonna meet her at a like a nursery place, like a plant nursery, to pick out some plants and like pick their brain about a couple varietals that I want in my backyard that aren't necessarily native. So I want to talk to them about like pots versus ground, how they would thrive, what they recommend, if there are like native alternatives that would thrive better and be good for like pollinators and stuff. I want to make sure there's like a good balance. Obviously, like I want certain like looks in my backyard, but I also want to be like responsible with what I'm planting. So I'm gonna go talk to some experts about that today, but I can't leave for that for another 30 minutes. I was gonna leave directly from the workout class, so I'm just doing more crafts. It is a noisy day. The deck is being built. Polly is throwing her plate around. You hear that? She's literally picking up her plate with her teeth and throwing it. She's insane. What I'm working on right now, if you're curious, are the name tags for the doors. Everyone gets a little pennant with their name on their door. A, so people can figure out what room they're staying in, because I'm doing like room assignments. And then B, sorry, you're so low. I feel like people hate when I cut off my face halfway, but sorry about it. What was I saying? Oh, but not everyone knows each other, so I feel like it's also kind of nice if you see someone like walk out of their bedroom, you're like, shit, what was their name again? Name's on the door. Let me show you one of them. This is how they turned out. Like, tell me that's not so sick. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. If you don't know, I majored in advertising, and I always thought that I was gonna be in like influencer marketing, planning brand trips. Like, that is my alternative reality dream job to obviously what I'm doing. I never thought I would be on this side of it, but dang, I would love to plan. I mean, I say that now, but everyone that's ever planned a brand trip is probably like, you would not love to plan that. I'm sure it's hell. Everyone with like their travel preferences and first class requests. I actually probably would hate planning a brand trip, but I would love doing this side of things. I am obsessed. I probably have to go back to the craft store today to get more white heat transfer vinyl. I also realized I looked closer at the packaging. I use low temp heat transfer vinyl. So I think that contributes to the fact that I can use my flat iron, and I also think it contributes to the fact that I can put it on matchboxes because I don't have to get like the matches really hot. That's probably insanely dangerous that I do that. Honestly, don't replicate that. But I get the low temp heat transfer vinyl. My friend that's getting married was like, should I get one of these machine things? And I said, just use mine. Like, I think I've used it 4 times and I'm obviously a little bit insane, so I've gotten my money's worth out of it. And I do think as a bride you would probably get a lot of use out of it, but if you also have someone in your life that has a Cricut or a Cameo or something like that, then just borrow theirs. Unless you're planning on doing stuff like this for the rest of your life, which in that case I think it's a great investment. I got mine on Black Friday, and I can't remember, someone swiped up on my story yesterday and asked why I got Cameo instead of the Cricut. I think maybe like the package, like the bundle that was on sale on Black Friday, the Cameo one was better than the Cricut one or something, or the pricing was better. I don't know. I think they're kind of the same. I'm open for work in terms of vinyl cutting machines. Cricut, if you want to sponsor me. Cameo, if you want to sponsor me. I'd probably be the best ROI of an influencer you can ever sponsor for something like this, but I'll patiently wait my turn. Like, look at that. I'm obsessed. Let me go flat iron these. My biggest fear in this situation is spelling one of my friends' names wrong. Can you imagine? They're like, oh my gosh, wait, we've known each other 10 years. Why is my name spelled wrong? For my next craft, I feel like a magician. For my next trick, for my next craft, I'm taking these Dollar Tree like wooden arrows, and I'm gonna cut, or I don't know how I'm really gonna get that off, maybe pliers. I'm gonna get the string, like little rope thing off of it, and then I'm going to paint them brown, and the goal is to make one of those like camp directional signs with all of the arrows going like in different ways with different things written on them. Usually it's written in yellow, I think, and I didn't get yellow vinyl. I was gonna paint, but I think it would just be easier to like print them out and just do vinyl transfer, so I might run back out to the store. I might actually go to the Dollar Tree and get their vinyl. I've never worked with Dollar Tree vinyl before. I should probably do a little research into that, but I have 5 of these and I already got some brown paint. I suppose I could have stained them, but they have brown paint at the dollar store, so just trying to keep it budget friendly. But I have all of them set up on my counter. Don't worry, I have a paper bag out to protect the actual counter itself. I don't know how I'm gonna, maybe I should just like try and like rip it off. Oh, well, that took no effort at all. Let me make sure there's not staples flying everywhere. Perfect. I feel like this vlog is going to become a very good resource if you're hosting a camp themed birthday, bachelorette, heck, like family reunion, I don't even know. But I feel like the camp theme is such a fun summer vibe. Especially like the Parent Trap camp theme, you know? I feel like it's a pretty common party theme. So it was hard to find just decorations. If this turns out the way that I think it will, I think this is going to be great. Maybe I got the wrong type of paint. I don't even think this is acrylic paint. This is like washable children's paint, but it ends up looking kind of stained. It'll be fine. I'm hoping this is my last run to the craft store. I think I have one last list of like everything I could possibly need. I looked into the Dollar Tree vinyl stuff, did not have good reviews, so I'm a Hobby Lobby. I'm still on the hunt for a cork board, but I found the vinyl that I need, some rope to hang up the signs that I made, some bandanas in different colors for everyone to wear for like the Olympic Games Day. This is gonna be the scoreboard for the Olympic Games. I'm just gonna like print out some stuff to put on there. And then I have 2 of these easels I'm gonna use to hold signage. And speaking of signage, that's where the other cork board comes in. So if they don't have it here, then I'll pop over to Michael's, but Michael's is always picked clean. Cork board has been acquired. I'm so obsessed with this. I'm not gluing anything down. I'm truly just using it as a cork board. Well, I guess I should explain what this is. This will be up on an easel in one of the main areas, maybe the entranceway. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be like a fun decor piece, but I'm gonna put pictures of everyone going. I'm gonna try and find like a funny picture of them and then like their names underneath, because some people know each other, some people don't. So that's just kind of like funny. I don't know. I think the pictures will be more funny than anything. But then I'll do the itinerary right here and it'll just sit out. So that's why I wanted the cork board, and I'm trying not to like glue anything onto it. Like I'm using the tacks and everything. Like I would have loved to just do the Cricut directly onto the cork, but then I couldn't reuse it in the future. So I try and be mindful of like, you know, just the random stuff I'm buying. Like most things I can find a way to reuse or I'll genuinely want to keep as like a memento. But anyways, that's one of the crafts that I did today. I did a Reel It In the Air Summer Games. This is going to be the scoreboard. I still need to figure out the exact games that we're playing, but I think I'm just going to go to Staples and get them to print like a poster or maybe like a couple larger sheets of paper or something, and I'll just double-side tape them right there. But I did use my Cricut thing for those letters. And then I made these shirts. My parents went to Clara's 26th birthday weekend and all I got was this onesie, and then this one was all I got is this t-shirt for 2 guests that have kids that thankfully found childcare. They were welcome. Like I obviously told them they could bring their kids, but it definitely would have shifted the vibe of the weekend. So selfishly, I'm very thankful that there are no children around because there are 12 bottles of tequila on the way. So I thought it was just a fun little way to acknowledge their existence back home and kind of like a extremely small token of appreciation for coming and like spending this holiday weekend with me and all the sacrifices that come with that. So these are for the 2 people that have the kids. Obviously no one else gets these. Then I made some banners. I have everything stacked up right here. I'm trying to keep my house clean, well, as clean as it can be when I'm in the middle of all these projects. I have this one that says Reel It In the Air Camp Clara, and then I have this one that kind of says the same thing except it says Welcome to Camp Clara. This is how that project that I was doing earlier turned out. This is one of my favorite things, and of course it's from the Dollar Tree. So cheap, so easy. If you're doing any sort of camp theme, I would highly recommend doing this. I'm gonna use maybe command strips. I don't know how I'm gonna adhere these yet. You'll have to wait and see. I tend to always do custom koozies because this is almost like a souvenir in and of itself. I did this like fishing thing on the fishing thing. It's a fishing pole. I know what that is. I'm scared to turn it around because I put some pretty like crazy sayings on the back. Okay, that one's honestly pretty PG compared to the other ones that I put on there, but all of them say something else. So I did 6 of those. I made 6 matchboxes just to put in a little dish. One side says Lake Norman 2025, the other side says Reel It In the Years with a little fishy. I got some rope to hang up those signs with, so that's not necessarily DIY. This is my Summer Games Champion trophy. I got this online for like $10. I could not believe it. Maybe we'll like pass this through the years, who knows. I got bandanas for each person for the Summer Games. That was at the craft store. Saw those at the last minute and I thought that was kind of fun. Looking real good. If you're wondering what these are, they're decals. That's why they look like this, because I can still like apply them. I'm gonna put them on the bathroom mirrors. I think that's so fun and it's giving like brand trip energy. That's honestly how I want this to feel for my friends. I literally want it to feel like they're going on a brand trip. So I took a lot of inspo from the trips that I've been on with different brands. I haven't been on tons of brand trips, I'll be honest. Like I'm not people's first choice for that type of content, but the ones that I've been on have been so fun, and I of all people appreciate the little details like this. So I made those, and then I also made these pennant flag things. I made them out of felt last night. I think I shared that. Well, I did the lettering this morning, so I made 14 of those. I think there's 8 of these. I think I counted the bathrooms and the mirrors correctly. We'll find out. I have these stickers that are gonna go on these boxes, but I want to like deep clean and like wash these before I put food in them. These are gonna be like little snackle boxes. So I'm gonna put bait and tackle on the top, and then I'm gonna put like almost like trail mixy, like candy, like snacky stuff, because these are gonna act like little mini bars in everyone's bedroom. I made the little yacht keys, keychains, kind of random, but I just had these motel keychains from like a previous thing. You can just scratch off the letters and keep reusing them and like adding little sayings and stuff if people don't want to keep them. And then last but not least, I think this is the last but not least, I made the little floating boat keychains that I love. Those are gonna go on the welcome bag. And then I'm just starting to pile up other things. Like I got decks of cards to put in welcome bags. I have the easel. I have 2 easels, but I built one of them just so I could see what it looks like. That will hold this welcome thing, and then the other one will hold the scorecard. Judging by the sounds, I think they're making a lot of progress on the backyard today. I woke up and went right to the dentist to get my tooth filled. So I'm feeling very mature, very responsible. Cost about as much as the Louis Vuitton makeup bag I've been wanting. That's okay. My teeth will last me longer than the makeup bag. My leisurely craft days came at the expense of my actual to-do list. So I have so much to do today and this evening and this afternoon, like work-wise. So I'm getting myself presentable because I have a couple things to film, edit, submit. I've already crossed one thing off the to-do list, but I want to at least do like 4 more videos today. And because I was cursed with a heavy attention to detail and an eye for continuity, I absolutely hate batch filming like a bunch of different things on one day, because I hate when you can tell that things were all filmed on the same day, which for me means changing my appearance and my outfit and my nails and everything in between them, because I don't like when content feels like old, you know what I mean? Like if something goes live in 3 weeks, you're like, okay, you had blue nails 3 weeks ago, like this is old. Not that 3 weeks is like that crazy of a timeline, but still, I like to be as thoughtful as I can about like when things are actually going live. So I have more than I would have liked to film in one day do, but that's what happens when I spend 2 whole days making crafts. I knew I was doing it to myself. I actually have a partnership with Canva, which is incredible. I wanted to work with them for so long because I'm obviously Canva's #1 fan. Is this annoying you? Probably. Sorry about it. I'm working with Canva, so that's one of the videos that I had to film today. And then I just submitted a liquid IV video. And then I have a cleaning video and a video for Hatch, which I'm trying to think about if I'm spoiling any of these. Nah, I think they're all gonna be live. The end of the month is always crazy in this industry because so many brands are like, oh my gosh, this has to go live before the end of the month. And I'm like, that is a week away. Deadlines and the timelines get moved up so much towards the end of the month. If there's ever been a time where someone you follow seems to be posting like an ad every single day, look at the calendar, because I guarantee you it's the end of the month. Because I'll submit content at the beginning of the month and then 2-3 weeks goes by and I haven't heard anything about it, and then like the last couple days of the month the brand will be like, oh perfect, you can go live now. But that happens with multiple different brands at once, so sometimes it feels like things aren't spaced out, but not a lot I can do on my end when that happens. But I think all of these will go live for the end of the month, and I think this video is gonna go live like the first day of my birthday trip, if my timing is correct. I'm so excited to work with Hatch too. I mean, I'm excited to work with like every brand that I've worked with, but there's certain people that I'm just like so excited because it's like a product or a brand that I've like promoted and talked about for so long, and it just feels very nice to be like recognized by them in a form of a campaign and like actually working together. So today is not much birthday prep, it's just a bunch of work. Something in my car smells like feet, and it's not my feet. I actually should be more thankful on a daily basis that I was not blessed with a stinky foot gene, but I don't know what's more concerning. Like maybe I would rather have smelly feet because I do not know what in here smells like feet, and I don't think I want to find out, but unfortunately there's only one way out. I'll deal with that tomorrow. I'm running some errands. I finished all my work. Well, I have one more video to film, but it involves my Octobuddy being on the window in my bathroom, and that window is directly overlooking all of the men working in my backyard, and I just don't think now is the time to film a get ready with me video with an audience of 15 men. So errands it is. Nearly $30 later, I have the meat for my recipe for tonight. It's such a good recipe, but it does kill me every time I have to buy the actual beef for it. I just put in the driveway, and I think the workers are done in the backyard, so let me show you the progress so far. Got some new fence action going on here. It's the most beautiful fence I've ever seen. This is the new deck, like stair situation. Obviously they haven't finished this, like the treads aren't on and everything, but you can get a good picture of what it's gonna look like. And there's a way bigger deck here before, but when you were on the deck you had absolutely no privacy because you could obviously see over the fence and like into all of my neighbors' yards and everything, and like make eye contact with people. It just didn't feel private back here, and it also ate up a lot of like the space. There's like a very grand stair situation, so shortening this platform and then having the stairs bring you directly down to ground level just opened up so much more like private area, if that makes sense. So there's going to be a fire pit back here, there's going to be a dining table. Look at how good this fence looks. I'm obsessed. I haven't been back here. I've been like looking out the window. Poor squirrels think I'm coming for them. I'm not coming for you. Look at the fence. And like Hannah, my designer, I'm working with her again on this, and this is the reason I work with her on stuff that I could arguably probably design myself. Would I ever have thought to like trim out this fence as beautifully as she did? No, that never would have occurred to me. But to Hannah, that's just like common sense. Why wouldn't you trim out the fence? I don't know. I'll forever trim out fences now. This stained is obviously gonna look so much better, but it already looks beautiful. And I think they're doing that like lower trim piece on this back fence as well. And for everyone that's very concerned about my neighbor's bamboo spreading into my yard, it is clumping bamboo. There's no signs of it spreading, and it's been here for years, so I'm not too concerned. I think that's my mosquito trap, or like mosquito bait station. I got the backyard treated for mosquito. I'm literally just walking around with my beef. I should go inside. I've got just shy of 30 minutes on my barbacoa. I love my pressure cooker. I'm literally gonna pack this for my birthday weekend. I couldn't find chilies and adobo go at the store. They've been out of stock for like 2 weeks. So this is what I used instead because it was like already all blended up. I usually make the marinade like barbacoa sauce myself and like blend it in the blender. But honestly, if this is good, I'm definitely gonna do this from now on. Oh, look at that. It even has like the spiciness level. We'll see about that. I'm kind of scared. It said to use 3 ounces per pound of meat and I got 2 pounds. So I used like half the jar because it's a 12-ounce jar. Love that I just felt the need to do that math verbally for you, but only time will tell if that's going to be too much heat for me. I don't know how authentic the recipe I follow usually is, so truly only time will tell. I'm going to spend the next 25 minutes while that finishes up, hopefully making some solid itinerary progress. So I have like a vague idea of what I want to do each day. You would think with the amount of stuff and preparation I have done, I would already have this part figured out, but let's just quickly work on the itinerary, shall we? Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. I got this little notepad a while ago, like a hosting notepad. So maybe I'll just go off of this and then I'll type it all up later. Because sometimes I just like to, you know, chicken scratch it out. I always feel so cunty when I'm wearing these little like black workout jackets that like snatch. This one's from Athleta, but like the thumb holes in Pilates, I'm like hitting all the planks because I'm just like, I don't know, it looks so sick. Stopped to get some salmon on the way home. They're making some progress in the backyard. Drinking a Monster. Kind of unlike me, but I hate to admit that the white ones do taste pretty good. The reason for the Monster is because I went to Five Below and that's what they sold there in terms of energy drinks. I got a bunch of candy for the snackle boxes because I feel like that's something I'm gonna forget to do. And then I need to plan out what the actual games are. So I got this golf target challenge thing. There's a little putting green at the house, so I feel like that will be fun. I'm just like continuing to stack up all of my stuff right here. I also got Who Is It, which is like Five Below's version of Guess Who, but I got this because I'm actually gonna like redo the cards. I'm gonna make cards of random people that all of the guests of the party like might know who they are, like maybe celebrities, the guests of the actual party, like people from their families. I'm literally gonna put like someone's mom on there. Like I think it's gonna be so funny. So this is gonna be another little Canva craft that I do over the weekend to get printed. Usually I forget to make my like every 8-week hair appointments for a gloss and a trim, and then I have to DM my hair girl begging her to fit me in before an event like this, but I actually remembered in advance this time. So this afternoon I'm getting my hair like a deep chocolate brown, like espresso almost gloss is what I usually get, and then I always just ask her opinion if she thinks I should get like a little dusting of split ends off. Last time she said my hair looked pretty good and I didn't need it, but this time I'll probably need it. Honestly, it's been a while. I always feel bad going in with a slick back or like dirty hair since she has to like touch my scalp, but hello. Well, actually against my black shirt you definitely can't see it, but it looks so fresh and healthy. And now that I have clean hair and a fresh blowout, I feel like I need to go out to dinner tonight. But I just bought that salmon. Damn it. There was a million parking spots to choose and they wanted the one that I was walking by. And I have my camera out. I'm embarrassed. It's Saturday. I stopped vlogging yesterday because I did have a little bit of a minor crash out. I don't like to record my crazy for my digital footprint too much, but I did cry because I was looking at my boat rental that I arranged to go with this rental house for my birthday weekend. And the math was not mathing on the weight limit, and I realized we're not all gonna fit on the boat. So I spent hours last night finding someone on Lake Norman that would rent me a boat big enough for my group, and by the grace of God, I've secured it. It's fine. Itinerary saved. Well, the itinerary has to shift because we were originally going to do boat day on the 4th. Now we're going to do boat day on the 5th because that's when I could get the boat. But honestly, it works out perfectly. The waters are probably going to be like really crowded. People are obviously like drinking drunk. Like the 4th is probably like one of the worst days for people to go out on the water if you can avoid it. So I feel like boat day on the 5th makes sense. But now I have to adjust the itinerary. And speaking of, I have the craziest Google Drive folder. I don't even want to show you the folder itself. I'm also getting some work done right here, so hopefully it's not too loud. I'm so excited to see the backyard. They're building like a privacy thing. Not even, I guess it's a privacy thing. It's just like an eyesore cover for the AC unit, so I'm very excited about that because I just want everything pretty. I just want everything. Anyways, back to my Google folder. I have so many things in here. This is like my master plan. This is how I'm attempting to stay sane, is this Clara's birthday folder. So I have 1, document that's kind of like my master plan, and then I have the grocery list, and I have a content brainstorm, which most people wouldn't need, but like I have so many videos that I want to film and make, and like trends and audios and stuff. Like that is my idea of fun, so I just like need to make sure it all happens because I don't want to miss out on any viral opportunities. I also sent out a Google form to all of my guests where I just reminded them of kind of like the overall plan, the dates, the address, kind of what each day is going to look like, and then I asked them their estimated arrival date and time, their estimated departure date and time, any food allergies. I mean, like I know most of my friends' food, I know everyone, like no one had a random allergy that I didn't know about. I also said to include preferences too, like if you hate cilantro, like let me know so I don't put cilantro in everything. I'm not even mad about it. I'm so excited. It's Saturday. Like I'm so thankful they're like working on it today. I thought I was gonna have to wait until Monday. But anyways, cilantro, spicy food, stuff like that. And then I asked for morning coffee requests, snack requests, alcohol requests, if there was any like activities or things in particular they wanted to do. And then it's funny because someone filled it out last night and said like they were most excited for the boat. And I was like, thank goodness I got that. Can you imagine if I was like, that's the one thing we're not doing anymore. So yeah, anyways, I sent out this Google form, so I'm adding to the master plan document all the guests, when they're arriving, when they're departing, each day, like what I'm gonna have to like wake up early to kind of do behind the scenes. I'm kind of like a little, I'm the counselor, I have to do a little prep and stuff behind the scenes. But yeah, I'm trying to have everything planned out. How many days are we? Like 4 days out from leaving for this, so I'm really just trying to have everything piled up, stacked up that I need to bring and pack and put in the car really tomorrow, because I want to focus on like my nails, my self-tan, you know, like getting myself ready, packing my bags, picking out my outfits. Like I want to be done with the prep tomorrow, honestly. So I was just working on my Google Drive of having everything written down, and I feel like you get the picture, and this noise might be annoying, so I'm gonna keep working on this. And last but not least, as I fold my clothes and do my Sunday reset and my weekend cleaning, I have started pulling aside some clothes that I think I might want to bring, and I need to be better about shopping my closet because I already owned this. I already owned this white like eyelet romper. This cherry dress is perfect. This was in my Nuuly. I only ended up buying like a couple new pieces of clothing, but I'm also going to Cape Cod and Nantucket later this summer, and I feel like these are all very like overlapping Venn diagram type vibes. But I just pulled aside all of the things that I already own, and like a couple of the things that I bought. Like I got these Gap linen pants when I went to Savannah a couple weekends ago, but I'll wear those all through the summer. So I tried really hard not to spend any of my budget per se, even though I didn't necessarily like walk into this planning experience with a strict budget in mind. I definitely should have, but I definitely want to sink more money into the experiences itself rather than like my outfits. And I already have so many cute things to wear that are like arguably perfect. I just need to get myself excited about them, because I was born with a disease that I'm not excited about an outfit if it's been sitting in my closet for too long. Even if it's new with tag, it's an illness. I don't really know how to get rid of it. But went through all my bikinis, found the ones, like this is a bikini from like 3 years ago, and I just found it and I was like, wait, this is so cute. Why haven't I been wearing it? So this is your sign to shop your closet this summer. Some Frankie's bikinis, I think from like 2 stagecoaches ago. I totally forgot that I had this gingham one. I have this red one that I'm excited to wear. So I am set. I do not need to go clothing shopping, but I am going to finalize my grocery list and everything like that. And I guess you will see how everything turns out in my next video. So make sure to subscribe. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, because there will be all sorts of content on every single platform. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.